Gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Let's start seated. I'm sitting on something just to prop myself up. You can sit cross-legged, that's fine, but just remember which leg you have in front, because we're obviously going to switch them over to make sure that's nice and equal. Or you can sit in butterfly. And this is our Garuda practice, our eagle flow, as it were. So we're going to take our Garuda mudra. So the left hand comes onto the heart space, the right hand goes on the top, and you interlace the thumbs, and then fan the fingers out and just bring the thumbs up to just that little kind of base of the throat, and relax the fingers out over the chest. Relax the shoulders down, sit nice and tall, firm yet relaxed. And you can choose a soft gaze or closing the eyes if you wish to here. But come to your mat this morning. Whatever has happened this morning as you awoke, just let those thoughts, the past, go. And try to become present with your breath, your physical body sitting on the mat, preparing the mind for practice. Allow that breath to be steady, free-flowing, breathing in and out through the nostrils, equal length. Feel the inhale filling the lungs, the heart space. Breathing into the spine and into the belly. And your exhale breath relaxes, releases, lets go of tightness, tension you may be holding on to. And today, as we assume the posture, we assume the thing. And the posture being Garudasana, and the thing being the eagle. So really drawing into the intention behind the posture. Why are we doing it? What are the meanings, the benefits behind all of the postures that we do on the mat? They've all got their own benefits and meanings behind them. And if we look into the history of where these postures come from, a lot of them come from Indian philosophy or Hindu deities and Hindu mythology. And the Garuda was the vehicle of Lord Vishnu, this mythical bird, this almost fearful bird, sometimes depicted as a hawk or a kite, not always as an eagle. So with the intention today that you are fearless, you are powerful, and you are also graceful. I am fearless, powerful, and graceful, just as the Garuda does when it flies high in the sky. Focusing on the Garuda mudra, fanning the fingers of the hands as if they were your wings today, taking flight. Nice and slowly release the mudra. Take the hands to the knees, palms face up. Keep the fanning of the fingers nice and widely spread there. Stretching the thumbs away from one another, stretching the little fingers towards one another, and reaching the other fingers outwards, opening across the palm. Feeling that stretch into the wrists, into the forearms. Relaxed elbow, relaxed upper arm, relaxed shoulders. Wiggle the fingers. Move the wrists. Circling one way and the other. And then take that into shoulder rolls. So circling the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. So with Eagle, it's an upper body and a lower body. Going to be working through the legs, strong standing work, but also to open and release into the chest and the upper back from the physical perspective. But we always want to, again, assume that posture and assume the thing of the eagle. Circling the arms up, just releasing. Noticing any clicks and crunches as you do. And you can start to release into cat and cow here. So as the arms come forward, you release the spine back. And as you circle up, opening the chest, little back flexion there, little back extension, into flexion, into extension. Find this with the breath. And then last time, interlace the fingers, push the knuckles forward, scooping round the front part of the body and rounding through the spine, relaxing the shoulders here, letting the head drop down towards the chest. Finding the breath. Inhale, lift the arms up, they sweep back, fingertips face forward as you open the chest, and make sure that you get those shoulders away from the ears and you feel this nice length from earlobe to collarbone, lifting the chest to the sky, lengthening the spine, not compressing into the lower back, breathing steadily, slowly, freely. Bring yourself back into center and change legs. Bring the opposite leg in front. Let's do that on the other side. So circle through the shoulders once more. Lifting the arms up. A few little circles before we introduce the cat and the cow. So as the arms come forward, release into the cat. As the arms go back, release into cow. Last time, interlacing the fingers, pushing the knuckles away. Maybe the other finger comes on top this time. Other index finger pushing away, rounding the spine, rounding the upper back, pulling the belly back to the lower spine. Release the arms up, circle them back around, fingertips face forward as you just open up again into the chest. Breathing steadily and freely. Bring yourself back into center. Lift the knees. Place the soles of the feet down and just rest the body over. Let the head rest between the knees. Just take a few breaths here before we start a little bit more of our warm-up. Soles of the feet come together this time into butterfly. Crossing one arm over and a little tricep stretch here. So it doesn't matter how far that arm comes in towards the chest. Not forcing anything, we're still just warming up. Relaxing the shoulders. Try to keep the shoulders level. And if you like, you can bring that arm up Put it in front, and then that gives a little bit of more of a pull. Getting those palms together. Keep the elbows nice and high. And then slowly release. Take it to the other side. Elbow cuts across. Reach the fingers away. Lifting up the arm. Just matching the palms together if you can. Try and lift the elbows rather than let them drop down. Drawing shoulders down. Nice. Nice and slowly release. Taking the opposite arm up and back again. And switching to the other side. So that's a free movement. Just noticing where those fingers land at the back. And then taking one arm behind you and just gently pulling the elbow behind the head. Just feeling any stretch come down there. And release. And go to the other side. And release into cactus, pulling the elbows downwards towards the waist and pushing them out. So again, you just feel those fingertips reaching. This is an energetic move. You are pulling the muscles of the spine inwards and reaching and extending. Good. Couple more times, pull in and reach out. And you can obviously do this without any energy at all. Look at that, I can do that without working at all, but I want you to really feel the muscles of the back and then return back into cactus. This time we pull the arms together, elbows, palms, keep the elbows lifted and open. Maybe the chest presses forward and the elbows push back. Notice how the hips change here if you're in that butterfly pose, bringing the elbows and palms together, opening up. Maybe the gaze lifts. You can always stay in this nice straight spine. Twice more, pushing the elbows back, opening chest, and then squeezing them in towards one another. Last time, press back. Keeping the elbows nice and high in line with the shoulders. Bringing in and reach. Pulses. Just 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep the elbows together as you pulse. 3, 2, 1. Woo, and release. Circle the shoulders. Let's come to kneeling. Tabletop position for your cat and cow. Come to the back of your mat, all the way to the back, because we're going to start to move forward. So just sway the hips a little bit, circle the hips, release from that seated posture there. Find your cat and cow, mobilizing through the spine. We're going to bring the right leg in front of the left, crossing it over. You may have to lift one hand to do this. Then you bring the left, and it might just squeeze on through. I know. Moving forward, let's take one more. Squeezing that across. Squeeze the thighs together here. Take the feet out to the sides and release back into those cow face legs. Maybe you have a block underneath you here. You can always take that block, place it to sit. Sit nice and tall. Let's come into cow face. So right leg is on top, left arm rises to the sky. And maybe you use a strap here again, reminding ourselves of Proptober. Sitting with it, breathing. And relax into the legs and the hips. Nice and slowly release the arms. Hands come down. And 3 more of those moving forward. So left leg comes in front. Again, if it doesn't come through, lift the arms away from the mat, but squeeze the thighs together, coming back into kneeling. Right leg lifts, comes in front. And last one, left leg. Tricky on the left. Left leg is in front, bring the feet out. And again, just use a block to sit on if you need to. Coming back into that seated cow face pose, left leg on top, right arm raises to the sky, left arm comes underneath. Use a strap if you need here. Or maybe the fingers just touch one another. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice and slowly release the arms, come forward and just release the right leg behind you. So taking those blocks away and coming into half cow face legs. So that is the left leg out in front of you and the right leg crosses over. So the knees are going straight forward. The knees are in line with the body and you're trying to squeeze those legs together in that half cow face. You've got a light flexion into that right foot. This is where we come into our first posture of an eagle variation, bringing those hands together, elbows together, lift up and fold forward. Keep the elbows away from the body. Try to get the elbows over the front knee. And take a fold there. Reach the fingertips forward, over and above the toes. Releasing into that fold. Try and keep both sit bones grounded, left as much as right. Reach the fingers away to lift up. Squeeze the elbows together. Release the hands. And change legs. Left leg comes across, both knees in line with the body. Try and squeeze those legs together. Try and flex into that left foot. And bringing the arms together into that high press. So elbows connect. Lift the elbows in line with the shoulders. Fingertips reach up. And then lift up and over. So keeping the elbows far away from the body. Drawing belly back into the fold. Relaxing head down. Reaching fingers away, grounding through right sit bones, squeezing those elbows together. All the arms might be shaking, mine are. Reach up, lengthen spine, and release. Legs swing back behind you. Come into your toe stretch with a reverse prayer. So tucking those toes underneath, come back as much as you need here. Sweep the arms around and find a reverse prayer that's comfortable for you today. Maybe the fingers meet in the middle of the scapula, or you can just touch the knuckles, sitting nice and tall. Allow the shoulders to rest. Notice here if you are actually flaring the rib cage, knit the lower ribs together. Nice. Try and relax into the feet and the toes as well. Feet are going to be super important for us in our eagle pose. Releasing the hands. Coming forward, coming off of that toe stretch nice and slowly, releasing to the tops of the feet, and then coming back into an ankle stretch. So fingertips come back behind you, maybe on top of blocks, and lifting the knees as comfortable, opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders. You've got a little back extension there as well in that ankle stretch. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. We're not sinking the ears to the shoulders. Slowly release. Hands come forward. Tuck your toes. Come into downward facing dog as you bend the knees and release. One heel at a time. First downward dog of the practice. Always just map it out for yourself. Notice how the body starts to feel in an inversion. Also starting to stretch through the back of the legs. Giving yourself those little twists if you like. And when you're ready, nice deep exhale to release both heels together, pressing chest back to thighs, spreading fingers. Pushing away from the mat through the palms, strong through the wrists, the arms, the shoulders, the spine. Drawing navel to spine. Find those steady breaths. We're going to repeat 3 connecting vinyasas, which is plank, lowering down, cobra, down dog. With your breath, inhale, plank. Exhale, knees all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Twice more. Breathe into plank. Lower to the mat as you breathe out. Breathing into cobra. Breathing out, down dog. Once more, breathing into plank. Breathing out, lowering. Breathing in, cobra. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Looking forward to the front of your mat, stepping the right leg through between the hands, dropping the left knee nice and slowly down, coming into a low lunge. So this is where we introduce the arms just as we did when we were seated. So they sweep forward and they open up. 3 times they sweep forward as if you're flying and they open up. These are your wings. Sweeping forward and releasing. And then bringing the arms together, let's cross left arm over right. Let's come into that first eagle arms. So you're in your low crescent lunge here. Reach up and little back extension. So dropping the hips, reaching fingers high, opening chest. Breathing, holding, keeping elbows nice and high, reaching fingers. Excuse me. And then nice and slowly, release the arms, take the hands into the heart center, take a nice little twist. Coming out of the twist, releasing the hands, stepping back into your connecting vinyasa. Back to the down dog. Find a couple of breaths. Looking forward, left leg steps through. Find the low lunge, dropping the knee nice and gently, releasing to the tops of the feet. Those 3 sweeps forward. Exhaling. Inhaling, open. Exhaling. Inhale, open. Exhale. And inhale. Right arm comes across for eagle arms. Little back bend into that crescent lunge, dropping hips, reaching fingers high. Releasing the arms into prayer at the heart. Right elbow to left knee, opening up. Sinking hips, opening left side of the body here. Release the hands. Step back into your downward facing dog. Find your connecting vinyasa. Coming forward into plank. Lowering down. Cobra or up dog. Exhale. Back to down dog. Take a few breaths there. We're going to add on into that sequence. Looking forward, lifting right leg up and back behind you, three-legged dog. Sweep the leg through, come into a high lunge this time. We do the sweeps again in a high lunge. So steady yourself, find the balance, assume the posture, assume the thing. Inhale into the back bend, exhale into the fold, reaching fingers. Twice more. Steady yourself here, nice, good work. And then coming into that eagle arms once more, left arm crosses over the right. We're going to come into humble warrior. So back foot plants here. So you feel nice and grounded. Bend through the front knee and reach forward. Humble eagle. Trying to get that right shoulder on the inside of, right shoulder on the inside of your right knee. Keep the elbows away from the body. Reach the fingers towards the top left corner of your mat. Sink the hips. Nice. Nice and slowly lift back up into eagle. Turn on the back foot. And then release the arms. Take a twist here, so palms come together. Left elbow, right knee, high lunge twist here. Nice and slowly release the hands on the inside of your right foot. Turn to the left side edge of your mat and take a wide-legged fold. Exhale the body, release the head down. If you can here, maybe the elbows come together and the palms come together underneath the head. Elbows are away from the body, reaching fingertips, turning toes in, heels out, lengthening the spine. Broadening across the shoulders here, squeeze those elbows and palms together. Release the hands, turn back to the front. Hands frame the front foot. You're going to sweep that right leg back into an open three-legged dog this time, opening up the hip. Pushing solar foot away, pressing chest back to thigh, and release the right foot down. Take a pause there, or you can do your connecting vinyasa. So either child's pose, tabletop, down dog, or connecting vinyasas. Nice deep exhale, preparing for the left. Lifting up left leg, three-legged dog, sweep it up. And sweep it through to meet the hands, come into that high lunge. Steady the balance. And sweeping arms forward. Get the belly all the way down to the thigh. Open up the chest as you return into the back extension. Beautiful. Twice more. Sweep forward and up. Third time. Sweep forward and up. Right arm comes across the left. Into your eagle arms. You plant the back foot. Preparing for humble eagle. Lifting the fingertips up. Exhaling forward. Left shoulder comes on the inside of left knee, reaching fingertips towards the right corner of your mat. Sinking the hips deeper, bending into the front left knee. Nice and slowly reach the fingers away to bring yourself back up. And then turn on the back foot, still with eagle arms there. And then release the hands into the heart center for your twisted prayer. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Opening up, pushing back through the back leg. You could always drop the knee if you need here. Doing great. And then when we come into our wide-legged forward fold this time, we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. So turning around, interlace fingers, and folding forward. Release into the shoulders as much as you can here. Bring the hands back first. Turn towards the left front foot. Turn on the back foot. And then sweep that left leg all the way back. Opening up the hip. Pressing chest back towards the thighs. Releasing right heel. And then releasing left foot to meet the right. Again, choosing options, staying in tabletop down dog, connecting vinyasa or child's pose. Doing great. We are building up towards our peak pose. Nice deep exhale back into the down dog or take a child's pose here. Walking the feet towards the hands into the front of your mat or in the center, doesn't matter. Exhale here, folding over the thighs, letting the body release here. Take hold of the elbows, sway from side to side, let the head and the neck become heavy and relaxed. And slowly release the arms, let them be heavy as you draw the belly back towards the spine, starting to roll up all the way to standing. Good. Finding your Tadasana, mountain pose. So again, it's this visualization of this eagle, this Garuda, this vehicle that Lord Vishnu would, travel on. And this eagle standing at the top of the mountain, ready to fly. So almost visualize yourself in that posture now. Coming into the eagle legs, you can, of course, stay with the legs as they are, both feet on the mat. Crossing right thigh over left. Really try to squeeze those thighs together so they're really Squeezing together, you're drawing the adductors in and the knees are facing forward. They're not skew-if like this. So knees are facing forward and you're bending into the left knee over the middle toe. Right arm comes across. And if eagle arms is not for you, you can return back to this variation, which is squeezing the elbows and the palms together. And maybe you do the double wrap with the hands and the feet. But it's important here to feel that feeling of rooting through the legs and rising through the arms and fingers. Taking flight. Assume the posture. The elbows lifting away from the body. Drawing shoulders down, reaching fingers away. Lengthening the spine, drawing the navel back. Bending into the supporting leg. Coming into warrior 3 with eagle arms. Release the wrapped leg. Push back through the sole of the foot. Tilt the body forward. Take a balance there. Reach fingers away. And bring back into center. Release the arms, release the legs. Take that pause in mountain pose before coming to the other side. Left leg crosses over right. Squeezing those thighs together, making sure those knees go straight forward. Balancing on your left toes or using a block underneath those toes as well. And right arm comes across again, choosing the option of the arms, maybe squeezing the elbows and the palms together. Keep the elbows nice and high. Reaching fingertips upwards, lengthening spine. Sinking, bending into the right knee. So the elbows are in line with the knees are in line with the feet. Extending fingers away. Maybe you're in the single or the double wrap. Assuming the posture, assuming this eagle. Nice and slowly release the leg into warrior 3. Pushing the foot back, finding the balance. Oh, toppling over. Steadying through the right leg, straight or bent. It's awful this side. And then closing that into mountain pose. Release the hands down. Great work. Garudasana. Stepping to the front of the mat if you're not already there. Lifting the arms up. Exhale. Melt down. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale. Release the hands. Step back right, step back left. High plank, connecting vinyasa. Back to downward facing dog. Few breaths here. Or a child's pose, because we'll all meet there. Deep breath out. Lower the knees, take the arms back to the heels. Palms face up, rest the belly, the chest down. Let the head relax onto the mat or onto a block. And still find that breath. Nice and slowly bring the arms forward. Let's come all the way down into prone. To get there, we do our heart pose, forearm plank, sphinx. Couple of breaths in heart pose, melting the chest. Coming forward into your forearm plank variation of knees on or knees off. Lowering hips, coming straight into sphinx, releasing to the tops of the feet. Find the breath. And then lowering the body, coming all the way into prone. Big toes touch and sway out. Lying chest opener here. Left arm comes out to the side. Right hand to the right side of the mat. You can introduce the right leg if you like. Rolling onto the left hip. And releasing the left ear down. Arm is face down here, and if this is too tight into that shoulder joint, bring the arm closer towards the leg. Rolling back onto the belly, releasing right arm out to the side. Left hand on the left side of your mat, pushing over onto the right hip. Using the leg if you like here. Bring yourself back into center. Hands come underneath the body, press back into tabletop. And find a round of cat and cow here. We're going to lower the forearms down. Coming into a dolphin of your choice. Maybe the forearms are straight ahead. Maybe you're interlacing the fingers, or maybe the hands are in prayer. But make sure the elbows are underneath the shoulders and shoulder width, tucking the toes, lifting hips and walking feet in. Keep pressing away from the mat. Keep broadening across the shoulders, lengthening spine, using core, walking feet in a little closer. And then lowering the knees, again, taking that child's pose. But if you like this time, you can introduce the reverse prayer into your child's pose. Hands come behind the back. Rolling up through the spine. Keeping into kneeling, sweeping the arms round. Let's come to eagle arms in kneeling. So right arm crosses over the left and just reach the fingers across the body. So here, some people don't always get this double wrap, and that's okay. So just reach the fingers across as much as you can here, and then fold at the elbow. And maybe the backs of the hands just touch one another, and that's okay too. So you've always got this option. And then really focus in just on the arms here. Notice how the torso responds. Knit the lower rib cage in. It's not flaring. You're drawing the abdomen in towards the spine. Spine is long. Lifting the elbows, reaching fingers upwards, and making sure there's space between the earlobes and the collarbones. Nice and slowly release the arms and come to the other side again, crossing those arms at the elbow, bending at the elbow, and maybe taking single or double wrap. Lifting arms, closing eyes, drawing in, assuming posture, assuming the thing. Almost that visualization of an eagle flying high. And releasing the arms, circling the shoulders out, giving some freedom into there. Good work. Let's come into a variation of side plank. So your choice of side plank here is either on the forearms or on your palm. And the legs are eagle legs. I know. So that means that your left leg comes across and wraps around, squeezing the inner thighs together. Lifting hip away. Changing sides. Not balanced today. Squeezing those adductors, releasing the hands, releasing to the knees, rolling back through child's pose, rolling up through the spine, hands come to the base of the back, take a little camel pose here, just releasing into the spine. Bring yourself back, swing the legs around in front of you. Shuffle forward to the front of your mat. Make sure that you've got enough room to come back. Eagle variation legs again in boat pose this time. So we cross the legs over. Maybe you do the double wrap. And here we go. Challenge. Reaching out into boat pose. Lifting chest, lengthening spine. Nice and slowly, see if you can change the legs in the best possible taste. In the air, onto the other side. Reaching feet away, squeezing the adductors together, reaching fingers. Fantastic. Nice and slowly, release the legs and roll down all the way to your back. Draw the knees in, roll and massage out. Well done. Got to the supine. Sway out the hips a little bit. Move the shoulders underneath you. So a lot of lower body work as well as core and twisting, and into the upper body, chest and upper back. So let's do a little bit of core work here. Eagle arms, right arm on top. Eagle legs, left leg on top. We're going to squeeze the elbows in towards the knees. Squeeze everything together. So the elbows stay away from the body, but they're pushing themselves towards the knees, and the knees are drawing in. Keeping the fingertips nice and high above the head. And release. Switch to the other side. Right leg on top, left arm on top. And squeeze, elbows to knees, knees to elbows. Keep elbows and hands nice and high, away from the face. Crunching in and release. Take the legs nice and wide, well, feet wide, knees drop together. Take the hands to the hips. Take a rest here. Heel toe the feet into parallel. Supine twist with eagle legs. Arms come out to the side. Right leg crosses over. Maybe the double wrap. That's okay. Or single wrap, but we're going to roll over onto the left hip. Maybe you use a block to hold the legs up. Going to anchor through the right side of the body, the right shoulder. Maybe the left hand takes hold of the top knee and gently guides those legs down. So just eagle legs here in a supine twist. Exhaling. Inhaling, bringing back into center, releasing the legs. Take the feet wide. Drop the knees together to release. Wrapping left leg over the right, maybe single or the double wrap. And then rolling over onto the right hip this time. Drawing left shoulder blade downwards, and maybe the right hand takes hold of the top of the left thigh to guide the knees down. Breathing in, release the legs back into center, unravel, and take the feet wide once more. Realign hips and pelvis, drop the knees in towards one another, and just settle. Heel toe the feet into parallel. Draw the knees in towards the chest and just roll and massage out through the spine. Feel the spine fully connecting underneath you, all the way from the tailbone right up to the base of the neck. And open up the hips a little bit there. Eagle and warrior are closed hip postures. They're not open hip like warrior 2. Just release into the hips a little bit. Inner thighs, we've worked the adductors, the inner thigh muscles today through that eagle, and also all of the back muscles in the eagle. So the latissimus dorsi, the quadratus lumborum, all the way down the back, the trapezius muscles. And let's take our shavasana here. So making sure that you're nice and warm, releasing the legs along the mat, taking the feet nice and wide, relaxing the feet and the ankles, and then extending the arms out to the side, palms face up, and just for one moment, extend the right leg all the way along the mat, point and flex the foot, circle the ankle one way and the other, and then let that right leg drop down to the mat. Extend and lift the left, pointing, flexing into the ankle, circling one way, circling the other. Relax the leg, let it fall nice and gently. Do the same with the right arm, reach the arm away, pulling from the socket, flexing into the hands, flexing into the fingers, clenching the fist, circling the wrist one way and the other. relaxing the arm, letting it fall to the ground, reaching fingers of left hand, clenching the fist, stretching, and circling the wrist one way and the other, and then letting that drop down. Turn the head to one side, drop the ear to the right shoulder. Notice how the shoulders tend to squeeze together here when we turn the neck. So make sure that you're pulling the middle back down and spreading the shoulders. Breathing and releasing into the tightness of your neck. Inhale back into center. Exhale, turn to the other side. Again, lift the body to make sure the center of the spine is connected and the shoulder blades are spread, just like wings. And you have this vision and observance as you bring the head back into center. Take a few deep breaths to settle now into your final relaxation in Shavasana as you assume the posture here. Om Tatpurishaya Vidmahi Survana Pakshaya Dhimahi Tanno Garuda Prachodaya. Om Tatparushaya Vidmahe Suvana Pakshaya Dhimahe Tanno Garuda Prachodaya. Om Tatparushaya Vidmahe Suvana Pakshaya Dhimahe Tanno Garuda Prachodaya. Om Beginning to take a few deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back. Awakening slowly through the breath first, then the body. Wiggling fingers, toes, moving head, stretching, drawing knees in and rolling out. And when you're ready, just rolling over to the right side, taking a pause before coming back up into a comfortable seat. Returning to our Garuda Mudra, left hand underneath the right, interlacing the thumbs and fanning the fingers across the chest. I'm just sitting nice and tall here and just checking in. Returning back to the intention of assuming the posture and assuming the thing, taking flight. And that you are fearless, powerful, and graceful as Garuda, the eagle, with qualities of endurance, resilience, and strength.